borderline failed my A-levels, and
Yeah.
at the same time got offered a record deal from Atlantic Records.
Oh, that's the best.
So I was like, I could retake all my exams and not sign a record deal and maybe go to uni. I don't know what I'd study there or do there, or do what I want to do, which is music. Yeah. I think I'll just drop out of school and sign
That's
to
a
Atlantic
crazy
Records.
decision to have to make at 17, because like you're not a person yet. You really don't know what you're like. At least I found personally, I was like, I thought I knew like what my strengths and weaknesses were at school, but I realized I really need to start working before I was like, okay, I think I'm good at this. I'm definitely, I knew what I was bad at school. I was like, I'm definitely not good at this, but like getting the confidence to make those kinds of life decisions.
Yeah.
I think at 17, that's kind of crazy. Like that must have been.
But bro, I'd already done that at 15.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd already left the country at 15.
Yeah.
I was living by myself in France to do table tennis. So for me, I guess like making high risk decisions, I was kind of used to. I was like, if I want to do that, I'll just do that.
And was your mum on board with the music thing?
Yeah, she was. And she was also on board with the table tennis thing as well. Yeah, I think all of her friends were like, you're mad for allowing Zach to do that.
Very supportive mum.
Yeah, yeah. But I think because I'd done my exams a year early when I was 15, it gave me a bit of space to try something new with table
just
tennis.
Get that in. So also the thing, like, we went to school where like, it was generally quite expected for you to get good grades, and also like you should kind of be trying to do a classic-ish degree at a Russell Group uni. Yeah, it was sort of the expectation. I think to not do that would have been considered like, you know, not normal. Yeah. It wasn't like the most high-pressure school, but it definitely was, you know, facilitating that kind of career path. Did you have to sort of like unlearn anything there to be like doubling down on the creative thing and be like, no, I'm gonna pursue this music thing? Because music at our school was like, it was flutes and violins and cellos and saxophones.
But then at our school, we also had Bombay Bicycle Club. They came from...
we did, from
our school. So, I don't know. I also feel like... Can I say the name of the school?
Yeah.
So we went to UCS. I feel like UCS kids are also just weird.
We are. It is a weird breed, yeah.
Yeah, and it would, even though it would be unexpected to, you know, just sack off school and do something else, it would also be completely expected.
Outside the box thinkers, I like to say. Yeah.
Just the outside the box.
Yeah, it's like the nicest way to do. Like slightly lazy, but I think it was like it was a good education, but I think the teachers and the style of the school and the type of people that were there, it wasn't a simply memorize the textbook and you'll do fine type of learning experience. What I appreciate for it compared to like friends who went to other similar types of schools in London that were of like the same, you know, ilk. It was more like, I feel like we're encouraged to not necessarily just like agree with what we've been told. Yeah,
question everything.
And when I catch up with like UCS boys like years down the line, it's been over 10 years now, there's a wonderful familiarity of like people who've obviously like you've grown up with them, even if you weren't like me and you weren't like best friends or very close, but I just like have known of you for a really long time. There's a wonderful familiarity of like, I know exactly where you've been, I know where you've come from. And it's just like really easy to catch up with people from my school, which I do kind of like. Do you reflect positively on your school experience?
Yeah, I loved it. You know, if hopefully one day I have kids, I'd love to send them there if I can afford it. But the majority of my best friends are from UCS.
Yeah, same. Which I think is really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then, so I just want to come back on. So you signed a record deal, you said 17.
Yeah.
That's crazy though, right? Isn't that, how did you sort of wake up the next day? Like, what was that thought process like? Were you just like ever just thinking, I've made it? Arrogant? Should we say arrogant?
Yeah. I'm the guy now. You know, all those times getting rejected by girls at 16, they're over. I'm now the guy, and I can stop trying now because I've got the record deal. And, and it's so far from
Hi, I'm Zak. I have a record deal.
Did I mention I'm a signed artist? It's not the case at all. They're essentially, you know, it's the start of your work and career. And
it's an invitation to now go and do a lot of work. Yeah. It's like when people talk about when they finally get funding for a business.
It's exactly like
it's
that.
This huge success and they go, oh my God, I can't believe I've made it. I've been given X amount of pounds, but they're like, now I have to deliver. Yeah. And it's just an invitation for more work, which I guess, did you find that's like quite a lot of pressure for you?
I did, yeah. I think I realized that quite quickly, that actually I had all this pressure on me now and this incredible opportunity. And I think I was thinking about it from a sporting point of view, which is, okay, I need to deliver. But the arts and sport, they're not really the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can try hard, which you do in sport, and there's the element of resilience as well, which is true for both music and sport. But then, you know, making music, you need to have an element of vulnerability and openness.
Yeah.
And that's not a competitive thing.
Yeah.
That's an artistic thing. And I think that's something which took me a while to kind of open up to.
Yeah.
And also you suck for ages.
Sure.
Like when you're starting something relatively new, you'd suck and you have to be willing to suck.
And again, at that age, like that's a lot to have to learn about like the work and like did you get like a paycheck? Like was it good money for when you were 17? Can I ask how much it was?
Sure. I wasn't making any money back
17.
then. I was 17, yeah. It was 50 grand.
Which when you're 17?
When you're 17.
That's a good amount of money.
Unbelievable. And you know, lawyer gets 7 of that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So here's
then
where
management get 20% of what's left. So what's
that's basically
30 something grand.
And you got to pay tax on it.
Yeah, then you pay tax on it. So I was left with about 30 grand.
Yeah, which when you're 17 is loads of money.
Yeah, but that had to last me for an entire for an album, right?
Yeah.
But bear in mind, it took me 4 years to make that album. so I guess I was on like 8 grand a year.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically not really. So it took you 4 years to make the album.
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
And also, I made 2 EPs before the album.
Right.
But because they don't count as an album, you don't get paid.
So you don't get paid for EPs?
Well, on that contract.
On that contract, yeah.
That I had. You don't get paid because it's not an album.
That is so weird.
Yeah.